Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's my pleasure to take a call on the second reading of the Financial Markets, Regulators and KiwiSaver Bill, along with the Securities, Trustees and Statutory Supervisors Bill tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank the officials for all the work that they put into this bill. It was on a fairly tight time frame, and it's actually quite a significant piece of work, and it was quite complex. It took the committee a fair amount of time to get to grips with the extent of the bill, because it's very far-reaching and actually very important when we're looking at improving investor confidence in New Zealand. So the Financial Markets, Regulators and KiwiSaver Bill establishes a new financial sector regulator, the Financial Markets Authority, and makes important changes to the governance of KiwiSaver schemes. It's clear that New Zealand needs a single market regulator with a culture of visible, proactive and timely enforcement. On too many occasions in finance company collapses, we have heard of investors' money falling to the floor through gaps between regulators. And we've done an inquiry in the Select Committee, which is still ongoing, into the finance company collapses and the frustration of investors when they feel that they've got nowhere to go because the regulations weren't strong enough, the legislation wasn't strong enough to actually enforce some of the issues where money was lost and investors had no recourse. This has undoubtedly damaged New Zealand and our mums and dads' investors' confidence, because once you have a sector who has lost a significant amount of money, which we did in finance companies, and these are the same investors in '87 that lost it in the stock market crash, and the same investors who lost it around 2000 in fund managements when they took a big dive. So once you've been burnt in the stock exchange, you've been burnt in the fund managers, you've gone to what you've considered to be your next low risk, which was your finance companies, you've been burnt in that sector. Actually, the confidence of our mums and dads investors, of our retirees, is pretty damaged. So it's important that we put some munted, as Aaron Gilmore would say beside me, from Christchurch, being the Christchurch word munted, that actually we have to do something pretty significant to get their investment back. Because without investment in New Zealand by our Kiwis in New Zealand, actually we can't strengthen our capital markets. So the FMA has a critical role to play in rebuilding that confidence. Every day investors need to feel more confident about where they're putting their savings and understand the basics of investment and getting advice they can trust and making truly informed choices. Not about just the risk of, you're 2% more than a bank, therefore...
Sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair. This debate is interrupted and set down for resumption next sitting day. The House stands adjourned until 2 p.m. tomorrow.